Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn two things. One, to define a redox reaction, and two, determine the oxidation number or oxidation state of an atom in a given compound. What is a redox reaction? Redox reaction is a short form for oxidation reduction reaction. An oxidation reduction reaction involves the transfer of electrons from one species to the other. The following is an example of a redox reaction. Solid magnesium reacts with gaseous chlorine to form solid magnesium chloride. Redox reactions are quite ubiquitous in nature. Some of the examples of redox reactions are the following: photosynthesis, cellular respiration, combustion reactions are all examples of redox reactions. Let us now learn how to identify a redox reaction. Before we discuss that, take a look at the following reaction. What type of reaction is this? Aqueous silver nitrate reacts with aqueous sodium chloride to form solid AgCl and aqueous sodium nitrate. This is an example of a precipitation reaction. And how do we know that? Because, according to the definition, a precipitation reaction is a reaction in which two soluble salt solutions combine to form an insoluble precipitate. And that is what we are seeing in the above equation. Let us do one more example like that. What type of reaction is the following? Aqueous HCl reacts with aqueous NH3 to form aqueous ammonium plus aqueous chloride ion. This is an example of acid-base reaction, as there is a transfer of proton from an acid, which is hydrochloric acid, to a base, which is ammonia. We learned earlier that the following is an example of a redox reaction. Solid magnesium plus gaseous chlorine gives solid magnesium chloride. How do we know that this is a redox reaction? According to the definition of the redox reaction, we know that it involves the transfer of electrons from one species to the other. However, we don't show any electrons in a balanced stoichiometric equation. Then how do we know if a given reaction is a redox reaction? What we do is the following. We calculate the oxidation number or oxidation state of each atom before and after the reaction. For example, in the given reaction, we calculate the oxidation number of magnesium and chlorine before and after the reaction. The oxidation number of an atom helps us keep track of the number of electrons in an atom. If the oxidation number of an atom changes in a reaction, then we can say that the atom is either gaining or losing electrons, and therefore it is a redox reaction. We use a set of rules to calculate the oxidation number of an atom in a given compound. But before discussing those rules, let us first discuss the actual principle behind the oxidation numbers. Do you remember how we calculated the formal charge of an atom in a compound? When calculating the formal charges, we assumed that the bonds between all the atoms in a given compound are covalent. For example, if there is a bond between oxygen and nitrogen, if it were to be a 100% covalent bond, if we break this bond, each of the participating atoms get one electron. And that's exactly what we did. Oxidation number, on the other hand, is exactly opposite. That is, we assume that all the bonds in the given compound are ionic. And to calculate the oxidation number, we break a bond between any two atoms and give both the electrons in that bond to the most electronegative atom, which means the electron is actually transferred from the least electronegative atom to the most electronegative atom. And this is the definition of ionic bond. Let us look at the bond between oxygen and nitrogen. To calculate the oxidation numbers, we break the bond between oxygen and nitrogen and give 2 electrons to oxygen, which is the more electronegative atom, and 0 electrons to the least electronegative atom, that is nitrogen. In other words, oxygen gets a -1 charge or oxidation number, and nitrogen gets a +1 charge or oxidation number. Next, let us discuss the rules for assigning the oxidation number. The following are the rules to calculate the oxidation number. Rule number 1. For an atom in its elemental form or pure form, the oxidation number is equal to 0. For example, if we take a block of sodium metal, the oxidation number of each sodium atom in that sodium block is equal to 0. And the reason is sodium metal is elemental form of sodium or purest form of sodium. Similarly, if we take oxygen gas, it exists as O2 molecules. The oxidation number of each oxygen atom in this elemental oxygen O2 gas is equal to 0. Rule number 2. For a monoatomic ion, oxidation number is equal to the charge on the ion. For example, if I take a monoatomic ion Na+, the oxidation number of Na is equal to +1. Similarly, the oxidation number of nitrogen in N3- is -3. Rule number 3. For group 1a elements, the oxidation number is equal to +1 in all of its compounds. We take any compound with a group 1a element in it. For example, sodium chloride or cesium oxide, etc. The oxidation number of sodium in sodium chloride is +1. Similarly, the oxidation number of cesium in cesium oxide is +1, and so on. Rule number 4. For group 2a elements, the oxidation number is equal to +2 in all compounds. We take any compound with a group 2 element in it. Example, calcium chloride, magnesium oxide, etc. The oxidation number of calcium in calcium chloride is +2. Similarly, the oxidation number of magnesium in magnesium oxide is +2. Rule number 5. For hydrogen, the oxidation number is equals to +1 when hydrogen is in combination with non-metals. And oxidation number is equals to -1 when it is in combination with metals. In sulfuric acid, hydrogen is in combination with sulfur and oxygen. Both of them are non-metals. Therefore, its oxidation number is +1. In sodium hydride, hydrogen is in combination with a metal, sodium. Therefore, its oxidation number is -1. Rule number 6. For fluorine, oxidation number is equals to -1 in all of its compounds. Since fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table, it is always considered as a non-metal in the given compound. And therefore, we give a -1 charge or oxidation number. Example, sodium fluoride NaF, oxidation number of fluorine is -1. Rule number 7. For oxygen, there are several different possibilities for oxygen. The oxidation number of oxygen is equal to -1 in peroxides. The following is the structure of hydrogen peroxide. The single bond between the two oxygen atoms is called as a peroxy bond. When we break the bond between two oxygen atoms, since both oxygens have same electronegativity, each oxygen gets 1 electron and a net charge of 0 on both the oxygens. When we break the oxygen-hydrogen bond though, the hydrogen, being the least electronegative element, gets 0 electrons and +1 charge, and oxygen, being the most electronegative element, gets a -1 charge. Therefore, the oxidation number of each of the oxygens on a peroxide molecule is -1. Oxidation number of oxygen in all the other compounds will be -2, except for the compounds in which there is fluorine. For example, the oxidation number of oxygen in water is -2. Similarly, the oxidation number of oxygen in sulfur dioxide is also -2. When oxygen is bonded to fluorine atom, which is the most electronegative atom, the oxygen, being the least electronegative atom, acts as a metal, and for each bond that is broken, the oxygen gets a +1 oxidation number. So, overall, it carries a +2 oxidation number. For group 7a elements, the oxidation number is equals to -1 in combination with metals and nonmetals except for oxygen and other halogens lower in the group. For example, in potassium chloride, the oxidation number of chlorine is -1. Similarly, in sodium iodide, the oxidation number of iodine is -1. If we take iodine chloride, both the atoms in this molecule are halogens, that is, they belong to group 7a. Chlorine is more electronegative than iodine. Therefore, the oxidation number of chlorine is -1 and iodine is +1. Rule number 9. The sum of oxidation number values for all the atoms in a compound equals 0. And the sum of oxidation number values for all the atoms in a polyatomic ion is equal to the charge on the ion. This rule is quite similar to that of the rule that we studied in formal charges. Let us do some examples now. Determine the oxidation number of each element in the following species. 1. FeCl2. Chlorine is group 7a element, and when group 7a element is in combination with metals such as iron, its oxidation number will be -1. Next, how do we calculate the oxidation number of iron? We use the last rule. We know that the sum of oxidation numbers of all the atoms on a given compound should add up to 0. Therefore, oxidation number of iron plus 2 times the oxidation number of chlorine is equals to 0. And we know that oxidation number of chlorine is -1. If we plug in this value and solve for it, we get oxidation number of iron is +2. Next, sulfuric acid H2SO4. Hydrogen is in combination with non-metals. Therefore, it will have an oxidation number of +1. For oxygen, it will have a -2 oxidation number unless when it is a peroxide or when oxygen is bonded with fluorine. Sulfuric acid is not a peroxide and there is no fluorine atom in it. Therefore, each oxygen in sulfuric acid has an oxidation number of -2. For sulfur, we need to use the formula 2 times the oxidation number of hydrogen plus oxidation number of sulfur plus 4 times the oxidation number of oxygen is equal to 0. If we plug in the oxidation number of hydrogen as +1 and oxygen as -2 and solve for it, we get oxidation number of sulfur as +6. Next, nitrate ion NO3-. Oxygen again will have a -2 oxidation number. For nitrogen, we need to use the formula oxidation number of nitrogen plus 3 times the oxidation number of oxygen is equal to the total charge on the ion, which is -1. If we solve for it, we get oxidation number of nitrogen is equal to +5.